What's up, people? It's your boy Leveled Head, back with another live and leveled gamers podcast. I got the crew in the house. First of all, let me turn it over to my boy, my partner in this podcast. And what's up, Mr. L Live?
Yes, Mr. L Live 08, just chilling on this Thursday afternoon.
And we also got back with us once again, pretty much a part of this podcast now, and that's John Shout. K-Bum couldn't make it tonight. I had a few other guests I was trying to invite. I don't know if they chickened out or what, but you know, I guess they got scared of the topic. But anyway, hopefully I can get Mr. T and Terminator Juice and Active Gamer Life up in here, Red Knight and all them, and we can shoot the breeze. But for right now, you with the typical crew, so we gonna be very loose and relaxed, and we're gonna have a good time, man. First of all, you know how we do. I don't want to spend too much time, you know, just running off at the lips. John Shaw, what you been gaming on, man? What you think? Yeah, yeah. I still think there's okay. I still think there's a twist. I think I just figured out that somebody ain't what we think they are, and I kind of just saw another a friend of mine at work let me borrow one of the cartoons, which I think the Gotham Knight is. I pretty much figured out who he is. I'm at that part where you pretty much they let you know who he is. So that I haven't got there. I'm right before that. But I figured it out. Yeah, I figured out who he was 20 minutes a game. But what tripped me up, and I don't want to spoil nobody, but what tripped me up was what's going on with Batman. You know what I'm saying? That caught me off guard. The first time that happened, man, it freaked me out. I was like, what the heck? What about when the bats show up on the ledge? That freak you out. The half bat. Man, dude, I can't believe you ain't got that, dude. It's gonna catch you. You ain't gonna even, huh? It, it's a side mission, but I think it's depending on where you at in the stage of the trigger. To know that there's to trigger the side mission, but I don't know which. No, yeah, like I'm doing the side mission to save Catwoman. I'm almost done with. I'm about 80% through the Scarecrow, the main story. I saw part of the half bat human hybrid, but I wasn't even trying to go into that. I just happened to be, you know what I'm saying, flying, and I grappled one of the buildings and came to the ledge, and when I pulled up, he screaming, "Yo, dude!" It freaked me out so bad, dude. I dropped my I dropped my controller, man. You ain't gonna be. I don't care if you see. I seen it before it happened, and just watching some stuff on the game, and it still caught me. I didn't, cause it don't. You're not prepared for it. You don't know when it's gonna happen, and it's just like the other situation going on with Batman. You just ain't prepared for it. So anyway, go ahead. So what you think? I'm got excited. Okay. Uh, mm, I don't know because I'm be honest. I don't know. My TV, I got a 1080p, 120 resolution, all that, refresh rate. I mean, and all that. But Mine is the Mitsubishi DLP style. So I got to get a new. What's up, Mr. T?
Hey, that fools.
I didn't know if you was coming or not, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't home.
Okay, that's cool. Well, we started already. So introduce yourself.
Mr. T of the Mr. T Show. How y'all doing?
Man, we got Mr. T on the Live and Level Gamers podcast. But anyway, what we've been doing, like I always do, man, we have what you gaming on right now. John is talking about Batman Arkham Knight. So go ahead and continue, John. Okay. All right, all right. Mr. L Live, what you been gaming on, man?
Well, I've been gaming on the original Xbox. I took a trip to the flea market Sunday, and lo and behold, this guy, he had a original Xbox for $50. I was like, what? I was like, man, can you throw me some games in there? He was like, man, I'll throw you in 10, like that. He must be wanting to get rid of it. I was like, man, so I got me, 10 games, paid $50 for it, put it in my car, went home, plugged it up. Hey, it works. I was like, man. So I've been playing that Prince of Persia, the one where he can
Stop time.
turn good and turn evil.
Oh, okay.
Is that Warrior Within?
Yeah. So I've been playing that, man, and you know what? That's a good game. That is a good game, man, and it for some odd reason it looks better now than it did back when I was playing on my GameCube. So
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Brute Force.
I guess when I used to work at Blockbuster, I used to manage Blockbuster. I used to know all them games, but that's when the Xbox OG actually came about back in 90 what 90 98 99. Huh?
Xbox original was 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I was back. I know I started there in '99. I stopped working there in 2004. So I know I was doing that generation that I was working at Blockbuster. So I remember
Golden Age.
the best game on the Xbox One OG to me was the Dead or Alive. That was I don't know if it was 3 or I think it was Dead or Alive 3.
I think you're right. Yeah,
man, you talking about
no. The best game on the original Xbox that made me go out and go get an Xbox was NFL 2K.
Well, that's
when
a Dreamcast.
You can get that anywhere.
when I seen the actual halftime replay, oh, I went crazy. I was like, oh, I gotta have one.
No, I never actually. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I was a hater. That's it. See, people. I'm just gonna be real, man. Back then, I was like what we talk about now. I was one of those Nintendo fans that hated Sony, hated Microsoft, hated. Only thing that got love from me was Dreamcast. And that's because that was actually, to be real, that was actually the first system that I ever bought with my own cash. Everything else prior to that, the N64 and the Super NES, my dad bought all that stuff. And I was, so I was basically, I had to be a Nintendo fan because I knew he wasn't gonna buy me a Nintendo and a Genesis. So, but the Dreamcast with Soul Calibur got me, and then, but I was Nintendo through and through. I'm still Nintendo through and through, but I'm a consumer now, so I buy what I want. But man, I had a young dude that went to church took with me. Man, we had this youth event. All the men got together, mentors and the young people. It was about 10 of us staying at one of the houses that our church owned, and we had a men's night and a party, and I bought the GameCube and he bought the Xbox OG, and he had that Dead or Alive 3. And I remember the scene where you in the wilderness of forest where it's just all trees around, and you can knock dudes onto the tree, and dude, I lost my mind with that big audacious controller that you barely can grip. I was losing it, man. And then the other game that almost made me go out and get an Xbox was the original remake or the reboot of Ninja Gaiden. I was like, dude, Xbox. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it until the 360. I ended up getting the 360. When Gears came out, I broke down as a gamer. But anyway, go ahead, Live. I ain't mean to interrupt. So you got the OG Xbox. So what else you playing on it?
Like I said, I'm playing that NFL 2K and the NBA 2K. You know, just taking them old flashbacks, man, and just gaming. That's it. Just playing games, man. It don't matter what system it is. Just playing games.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, Mr. T, what you been gaming on,
homie? You know what I'm playing gaming on, but yeah, been playing mostly Splatoon. Actually, I haven't played Splatoon in about 3 or 4 days now, but because I've got back into Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Dude, when you brought that up in the last podcast,
yeah,
I tried to find. I found it online. I had to order offline. It ain't at none of the stores here where I live, man. It's $12.99.
You will not be disappointed. Yeah, it's cheap. It's real cheap now. And it'll be the best $12 you spend on a video game for sure.
Okay.
So I've been playing that a lot now. I got caught up into the story because it's kind of like a Metroid where you can get way deeper into it if you read they have these digital newspapers, and you can hack into people's computers and read their emails and stuff.
Wow.
So you can get really into the story, and that's kind of why I've been playing it for so long, because I'm all into side missions and stuff too. So, but yeah, I've been playing that. 3DS, Codename Steam. I feel so bad for Codename Steam. I think it's a great little game, but nobody bought it. Nobody.
I think it just, I don't know. It
was the wrong time. It came out at the wrong time.
Wrong time. It didn't have the right marketing appeal for it. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's mostly been it. On Xbox One, I've been playing Witcher 3.
How's that? I know John got it, and so
it's another one of those time-consuming games if you do a lot of side quests and stuff. But it's really cool. I think you'll like it. Combat is solid.
I wanted to get it. I just right now money is not the greatest situation, and can't be just. No, I got a wife. I gotta think.
Yeah, I know how that is.
So anyway. So Witcher, Splatoon, Deus Ex, and what else?
Codename Steam on 3DS.
Codename Steam. So you pretty much 3 systems. You doing some serious gaming.
Serious, yeah. I had to pull myself away. I was on Deus Ex for 7 hours yesterday. I couldn't stop playing it. I mean, it's a good game.
Hopefully I can get and I'll go ahead and order it from Walmart and get it shipped to you.
Yeah. And the gamepad stuff is the best on the system. Gamepad use with Miiverse integration is disgusting. I was telling people you can leave audio file. You can leave audio messages basically. So if you're in a certain part of a level, you can go into Miiverse. It's seamless. It's not like you have to boot up Miiverse or anything. It's integrated into the game, so you can hit your little Miiverse messages from other people, and you can read or you can listen to their audio things saying, "Hey, be careful over here. There's a sniper on that level." You can hear it. You can play it back, and so it's the best use of Miiverse / the gamepad on the system, which is sad as third party, and not Nintendo doing that. But yeah, I highly recommend it.
Okay. That's what's up, me, man. Right now I've been doing a lot of gaming here the last, I would say, 4 or 5 days. I had my son, my cousin, and my cousin over too young. My cousin's kids and one of my uncle's kids. So anyway, my son and we was all downstairs. Also my daughter. And we was playing Killer Instinct on the Xbox One. I was thinking that's what they would probably want to play. They wouldn't be interested in the Wii U. And so we playing Killer Instinct, but none of us had the skills to really make Killer Instinct worth playing. So I don't know what it is about this Killer Instinct on the Xbox One. It does not. I love the game, don't get me wrong, but for some reason either I lost my skills, and I know I haven't because I play Street Fighters and other games, and I'm fine at that. I just can't do nothing on that game. I can't chain none of the stuff together. And, so I took it out because we got tired of switching controllers. I was beasting all of them, and it got boring. But anyway, so we put in. I took. I was like, well, let me see if they throw it. So I threw in Smash Bros on the Wii U, and pulled out the gamepad, my other Pro controller, and the two Wii emotes I got, and we got to going, man, and they was going crazy over that game. So we had a good time. I also been playing Splatoon. I threw Splatoon. I haven't played Splatoon in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. It had been a while since I had played it. Up until Splatfest or whatever that was. Wasn't that what it was? Splat Festival?
Yeah, Splatfest.
Yeah, Splatfest. That was the first time I put Splatoon in for about a week and a half. And the game that took me away from it was Batman Arkham Knights. And I've been playing that pretty religiously. I just took a break. I say for the last 4 or 5 days I haven't been playing. I've been back on Splatoon, basically trying to milk it because I'm almost done with the main mission. I know once I finish the main mission, it's very unlikely I'm gonna tackle the side quest. So I put it down so I wouldn't beat it within 4 days of having it. So to me, when I beat a game like that, as enjoyable as it was, I kind of feel like I didn't really get my money. So that's $60 that I pretty much finished in 4 days. And I think back to games like Mario 64 that took me 2 months to beat, or Zelda Ocarina of Time that took me almost 3 months to beat. So I had that type of mentality where I want my game to give me about a month, at least a month or so of gameplay.
Yeah, you gotta savor it.
Yeah, I did that with Gears of War 3, man. I bought Gears of War and was enjoying the game. I finished the game, and it kind of ended without me even knowing it was over. I was like, it's over? And it was about 2 days, 2.5 days I was done with it. And but anyway, so that's what I've been gaming on. So anyway, this is Live and Level Gamers Podcast. We're here to discuss a few things. The rumor mill is going crazy right now. The NX pretty much is the talk of gaming. To be honest, I tried to find other stuff to talk about, but honestly, there's really nothing going on.
It's dry.
With Microsoft and Sony at this time. I'm just going to be real. Since E3 is over, outside of the extended footage of Uncharted 4 and the extended footage of Tomb Raider, the second Tomb Raider, I haven't heard much coming out of those two camps. You know what I'm saying? So I know that the whole situation with Lizard Squad or whatever, that hacking group, but that to me, I don't feel like talking about that. But Nintendo, Reggie has been interviewed. That was very interesting. The rumor mill about the power and the pricing of the NX is out there. And then I have a special topic that I will save for our main topic. Is it time for Nintendo to directly compete with Microsoft and Sony? Jumping back into the race for market share and pretty much trying to be the #1 console on the market. Is it time for Nintendo to return back to the N64 GameCube days when they was competing? So let's tackle this first topic, man. Who saw the interview with Reggie? Some of the stuff he brought up.
Yeah, the one with Kevin Pereira?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
what did you live? Did you see it? I don't know. Did you see or read that interview?
With Kevin Pereira?
Yeah.
I want to think I did, but
Like 10 minutes.
I can't remember.
Well, it was about a day or two ago.
Yeah, it was recent.
Yeah, where they asked him about what he felt about the backlash from the E3, the people feelings about Metroid. What is that? Metroid Federation Force. And one thing that I wanted to talk about is what he had to say about Microsoft and Sony's booth experiences. Basically, he said Nintendo was focusing on what is coming out between 6 to 9 months. From here to spring of next year. That's the games that they showed and had on the show floor. But when you went to the booths of Microsoft and Sony, you pretty much was watching gameplay or watching one of their representatives play the game. You didn't get the chance to experience it for yourself. And the different approaches from Nintendo to Microsoft and Sony, Reggie directly addressed that and kind of addressed the whole Metroid Federation Force, basically saying that we know that folks were not happy, but we have the mindset that once you play it, you will get it, you will understand. And so, with that understanding, since Mr. T already know, what did you think? What'd you say? Go ahead. I don't. Well, I guess he was saying for the folks that actually attended. Okay, I got you. All right, go ahead. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what we're trying to establish. Like, you know, I I saw my boy, one of the people me and Mr. T podcast with a lot, Terminator Juice had no, I wasn't Terminator, it was Active, had posted the interview and basically uh, what Reggie had to say. We had a discussion about it, and what I shared was I felt like even though I agreed with Reggie, I felt like the timing and Reggie's take was I coined it hypocrisy. it was a lot of hypocrisy, and I got some other coins that I got to do that video. I got hypocrisy. I got micro-illusional. That's Microsoft fans are delusional, micro-illusional, and then I got PlayStation. Sony fans have Sony standards, double standards, Sony standards. So, but I thought Nintendo was being Reggie was being very hypocritical because what he accused, even though I agree with him, it was just hypocritical because Reggie them for the Wii U have been doing the same thing he accused them of. Like, how can you accuse Microsoft and Sony of showing games that you're not going to see for 2 to 3 years when everything that you showed at this E3 we have seen for 2.5 years, 1.5 to 2 years. So to me, that was very hypocritical. And Mr. T, you can jump in if you want to add on that. Or
yeah, I just want to say, like, what else? What is he supposed to say? Like, that's his job, to be PR, to do quote unquote damage control. I mean, that's his job. So, but the thing I think where he messed up at is because I'm with you. Like, it's definitely hypocrisy. but he could have fixed it, or he could have said it better by just saying, here at this year's E3, we want to focus on what's coming out soon.
Right.
So, but he didn't say it that way. Had he said it that way, then it would have been, better. But he just said in general. It sounded like he was just saying in general, this is our philosophy. That's what he said, right? I think that was his wording. Yeah. This is our philosophy. We want to show what's coming soon. But that's obviously not the case, because I made the point that we saw Xenoblade Chronicles X in January 2013, and we still don't have that game. So that's hypocrisy. So I just think he didn't word it the right way. He got a little caught up, in the interview. But you got Nintendo fans getting upset. He needs to shut up. No, that's his job. What do you mean he needs to shut up? No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying I've heard some guys out there saying he just needs to shut up. I'm like, no, that's like telling a cabbie to stop picking people up. That's his job is to talk. I mean that's. Right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's.
The thing is, like,
Live get in here. I know Live ain't.
Let me just real quickly make this point: is that a lot of people say that Nintendo needs to get more aggressive and all this stuff, and when they do, like, I understand, like, Microsoft fanboys or Sony fanboys getting upset about whatever Nintendo making a jab, but I don't understand Nintendo fans getting upset about Nintendo trying to be aggressive. Like that's something new. But everybody does that. Like Microsoft does that too. Sony does. But that's when you're supposed to be aggressive. When you ain't supposed to be aggressive when you're already up there. You're supposed to be aggressive. But I'm talking about. I just meant what he was saying on the video.
So
Oh, he did give them credit though. He gave credit for like Halo. He gave credit for Star Wars. He wasn't just like being, these guys suck completely. We're better.
Let me say this, because I kind of see, and I'm gonna let Live jump in here. I see what John's saying. I see what you're saying as well, Mr. T. I think that truthfully, I would have left out the whole part about Microsoft and Sony. Everything else was fine. Yeah. It was, you basically came off salty.
He was definitely salty.
Yeah, it came so it was like, yeah, I feel you, and this is Reggie. Let's be real. Reggie, when we first met Reggie, he had that type of attitude.
I'm kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna, I'm kicking your ass and taking names. Anyway, but he had the attitude, and I liked it. But what happened was, like what my boy John's saying is, after you have a press conference that across the board, unanimously, my tongue get tied. It was unanimous that people, for the most part, you got the folks that's super extreme, but for the most part, we all, me, you, John, Live, Active, Terminator, you name them, Shokio, what's Nia, and
everybody.
I can just go through the list. The tears was out there. I mean, Mr. T was drunk, man. Mr. T was getting drunk in the video. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I agree with what John's saying. It's kind of hard.
Valid. Completely valid.
It's kind of hard to listen to Reggie say that after what they did, but at the same time, Nintendo does need to be aggressive. But that was the timing wasn't right. Live, jump in here, man. What you think? Mr. Live.
Oh, he just dropped.
He dropped? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get him back in. But go ahead, John, if you got some more to say. Right.
No, there was a lot of people. I was saying that too. Like a lot of people were saying that, and they're, a lot of the Sony fans were shooting that down. But that made valid. I mean, that was completely valid. Like, why would they make more money, basically, on another console and not try to do the same on this console? So it didn't make sense. It doesn't make business sense to do that. Yeah, I mean, they did show up, but didn't they go like an hour late or something? I think so. They were back there changing graphics and all that. They were back. Yeah. Level said that way back when they first showed the PS4. He's like, "What did they show?" I remember that video. Like it was yesterday.
I'm glad you bring that up because Cass got mad at me when I brought up.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
like,
people.
Man, they didn't show you anything, man. But anyway, I ain't gonna talk about. People think I hate. The thing is.
They came out $100 cheaper, and they said we're not doing DRM, and people acted like it was a second coming. Oh man!
Like, you got to be kidding me right now.
I think I had you down, John. I hope that didn't come off like that. I think you was muted.
Oh, that sucks.
I got you up now. Somebody said they couldn't hear you. I was like, how they can't hear you? Then I went back and I saw that I messed with the controls on accident.
But yeah, after I got out of that conference, I was just like, I was listening to everybody. They was all like, "Oh, so." I was like, "But what did they show? What? I mean, other than the price and what's name? What is it that one?" I was like, and so I was just so confused. I was just sitting there. I was out of my element because I was sitting looking like, what is going on? Did I miss something? I'm in the Twilight Zone. I was like,
I mean, all you have to do is look at the PS4 controller to know that it was going to be $500 too, and last minute they snatched that camera out the box. Because what is that light on the PS4 controller for?
It was supposed to be some move-like stuff, but it didn't. It never happened.
Right. So.
Hey guys, let me know if you can hear John now. I think I had the volume down on him. I apologize. So for the first 20 minutes, you probably just been hearing dead space when John was talking. But let me know. Just type that you can hear him if you can. Let me know if y'all hear him.
Never don't like me no more. That's how I see how.
Yeah, man, my bad. I was just,
I wasn't talking about nothing.
Messing with this stuff. I ain't never messed with it on the side. Shouldn't have been messing with nothing. Ignorance always shows up at times. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they can hear you now. They should be able to hear you now. But go ahead and continue. I just wanted the people to.
That's what I just don't like when these companies taking jabs at each other. It's like because it fuels the bull crap because these people they eat it up. These gamers and dips. I'm sorry. These dummies they eat it up, and it's like, and then the focus gets away from what the real focus needs to be on. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Nintendo, like, you taking jabs, but you stunk up the floor. Sony, you taking jabs, but you still ain't released no games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo, like, they didn't have to do a whole lot to have a way better E3. They just didn't show. They were talking about, we're focusing on what's coming next year, but they didn't show it. They didn't show it in the digital
thing. It's like, why did you show Zelda last year But then now it just disappeared from this year.
Right. Completely, you have no idea when they're ever going to show it again.
You could just show me just a little bit more, and I'd have been happy.
Yeah, you can go to the Game Awards and show a piece. You could have showed something.
Yep.
Okay. Live, jump on in here, man. What did you think about what Reggie had to say, man? And
after that E3 showing, he had to do something. He had to do something to, to kind of like get the focus from off of E3 and, try to make, a little bit of controversy. I don't blame Reggie. I mean, Reggie is a very smart person,
right.
He's not a dummy. He's not a dummy. I mean, it's all fair in love and war, It's all fair in love and war,
Let that testosterone get a little bit. He let his own personal he himself is aggressive in nature, and he's just got, like I said, he got caught out there, and he let it overtake him a little bit. When he had no backing to.
Yeah, and like I said in the last podcast, that's the Reggie that I like. I like the aggressive Reggie. I don't like that, that no nonsense Reggie that said, "Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do that." Like I said, I like the Reggie that was in the board meeting and they showed a game and Reggie was like, "I know you ain't about to show this crap." No, we're not showing this. I don't know what happened. He kind of flip flops, but I like that aggressive Reggie. And with that interview that with Kevin Pereira, I think I sent Levelhead an interview with Reggie. Talking about some things before that interview, and I think it's pretty much the same interview, pretty much the same thing that that he said. And stuff like that about Sony, and about, not showing the games, and not showing Zelda. I mean, if they just would have took the time and made a better presentation of the games that they already had, I think it would have been a better E3.
Yeah. Right. I agree. And you did send me a interview that pretty much mirrored that one with Cabrera, if that is how you say his name. It was pretty much on the same basis, but this one was more recent, so I didn't know if you had seen that one or not.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you could tell fans something without telling them anything, and that would have been good enough. They would have been like, if Reggie would have came out and been like, "Hey, look, we wanted to focus at E3 on what's coming up soon here, things that we're putting out soon, but don't worry. Wii U has got some great games coming. You'll see. We'll put it out there when the time comes." But we didn't hear it. We didn't hear anything like that, So I understand what people a little bit up in arms about, wondering about the future of Wii U. So
see, me, man, like folks be thinking that when you get mad at Nintendo, it's because you think Nintendo is about to go the way of the dodo bird. No, man, it's more or less. Well, some people go to that extreme, but I think all of us here, we more or less saying we know that Nintendo can put a better foot forward if they wanted to. So the question is, why didn't it? You know what I'm saying? That's my thought. Why did Nintendo go a different route when I know that they could have? They had so many options that they could have went down. Why was this road the road they chose to travel when you have so much that you could have put out there and shared to your fan base that would have appeased everyone, including the audience that you kind of did with the press conference? I mean, with the digital event, you could have appeased everyone and had an excellent E3 showing, but you chose to go down a path that was, to me, half-hearted. It didn't have a lot of heart in it. So I think that was more of my disappointment with the E3. But like Mr. T said, Reggie had to do what he had to do. But at the same time, I agree with John. You can't do that after that event, digital event. You can't do that. But at the same time, I want this Reggie to stay around. Don't go back into hibernation when things are good,
Right, because wasn't for the longest time people were like, "Where's Reggie? Where's Reggie on stuff?"
Right. We thought he was fired.
Right. So now he's out there. You gotta appreciate. I mean, obviously, like I said, he can't overstate some things like he was overstating stuff. Right. But it's good to have him at least talking again.
Right. It seemed like I don't know who somebody made him mad or what, but he was talking. Jump on in here, John, and then we're going to move on to the next topic so we can get to our main topic.
That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, if you like how they came last year, that's what you can bump your chest about and stuff like that. I feel like him coming to say that. Like, matter of fact, the question didn't even need a statement from him about any of the other consoles. Let's say he said, "What do you feel about your console?" From what you said about the question, I'm on there. I didn't hear the exact question, so yeah. From what my state, from what I'm thinking, what was said, that question didn't even need to. He didn't even need to go that route.
Right.
Like I said, he was preemptive, and I think a lot of times because we saw one interview, he was probably doing 10, 15, you know, and so he might have got that from other people, and he answered it in this interview, you know, because I've done that before.
Yeah.
You know.
So let me say this also for those who couldn't hear John. John didn't feel like Reggie had the I guess didn't have anything to really shoot with.
No, he didn't.
You know, just to bring people, because they didn't hear what John said. So, John, can you kind of establish what you said about what Reggie had to say about Sony, Microsoft in this interview, so folks can know what you actually said?
He was saying that that Sony and Microsoft were showing things that at the E3 that they were showing things that, you know, the developers were playing the games and everybody else, and they was people just looking at the games or whatever. And I'm like, well, from everybody at home, that's all we're doing at home anyway. So if we're not at E3, all that what you're saying doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And two, with what you showed at E3, you can't be throwing jabs at the other two companies when your showing was crap. You know what I'm saying? For in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh no, it was crap. In everybody's opinion, and they could have done something. They could have pointed out how they have a really innovative thing. You were just talking about how we can't, you know, see if we're at home. We can't see what they got at E3, but we had a chance at home with the Nindies at Home special thing they did, where they let you download these demos for all these games. They didn't put that. Like, that should have been in an E3 digital event. Why wasn't that out there? Like,
that's what I mean. Like I said, go ahead, my bad.
No, I was just saying, even Microsoft and Sony both showed indie stuff, and Nintendo, you expect them to do it, but they didn't do it this time. So that was just like weird. Like, this was a big thing.
It goes back to I think I brought this up in Terminator's podcast, and I also said this on Live and Level as well. I think that Nintendo has a problem with allowing folks to gain notoriety off their platform, like not the system, but like the directs and the digital events, and you know, like with commercials, not wanting to put their own dollars behind commercials for exclusive games coming to their system that they're not developing. Like, I was listening to a podcast or something today, which triggered my main topic, where they was talking about how, like, Shannon and other folks, Nintendo has really never pushed those titles themselves, and a few indie titles that has coming exclusively to Nintendo's system. Nintendo has never really allowed them guys to get you know what I'm saying, get noticed on their platform outside of the Treehouse. But most of the folks are paying attention doing the digital event. Like you said, that would have been a time to announce Nindies and Shannon and a few of these other games that we do know is coming to the Wii U and 3DS. That should have been the time that you put those games up so those developers and that game can get light, but you don't give them that platform. You give them the Treehouse, which really only Nintendo fans are paying attention to. See what I'm saying? So I don't understand that logic either, but we don't work at Nintendo, so it ain't for me trying to understand it. But with that being said, anybody got anything else they want to say about this particular topic?
I mean, that's
Not
true.
really.
All right, so let's move on. We're going to hit one rumor, and then we're going to move on to the main topic. So apparently somebody is leaking that Nintendo's next 6 system is going to be weaker than the PlayStation 4. I wonder why they always say just the PlayStation 4, not the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I mean, it's not like the PlayStation 4 is that much powerful than the Xbox One, but it's not going to be as powerful as the PlayStation 4, and it's going to be $150. And it's supposed to be coming out end of 2016. And they're already talking to manufacturers to put the system together, factories and all that. So I'll start with Live. What do you think about this rumor, man? Do you think there's any validity to it, or you think it's just a bunch of BS?
Okay, everybody, take this with a grain of salt. Okay, this is the Nintendo fanboy in me about these rumors that I'm getting ready to let loose right now. Okay, on the simple fact of it not being powerful than the PS4, I'm not worried about that. I mean, AMD is making the chip, which I'm pretty sure that's the case. Even though if Microsoft buys AMD, the contract is still it's still signed null and void. That's fine. Long as they do the x86 architecture, I'm fine, because that means that we can get third-party games on to the Nintendo NX. That will be one good thing. Now, with that price point at $149, and they saying that they're shipping 20 million Wii U's, 20 million Nintendo NX. What is this?
I don't believe. Let me say mine. Who want to go next?
Please, let me go.
Let me ask you, Live, do you believe it, or are you leaning more towards it not being the case, or do you believe it?
I'm just saying the fanboy, the Nintendo fanboy in me, 149 for a system. Wow!
Man, come on.
All right, go ahead, get on that, Mr. T.
How much does a 3DS cost right now?
Right at the same price.
The new 3DS, how much is that?
$199.
$199, yeah.
They gonna drop a home console that's cheaper than the handheld?
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. There might be stuff in it that turns out to be true. Like, I don't think Nintendo's not gonna chase power. It'll probably be a little better than Wii U. I think the biggest change will be x86. The games that, even though they won't be as pretty or whatnot, those third-party companies will still be able to downscale them to fit and run on Wii U without having to worry about the different architecture that the Wii U had, or not the Wii U, NX, without having to worry about the different architecture like they have to do with Wii U. So I think that's probably right. But how much is a new PS3 and a 360 today? Like, isn't that still like over 200? Maybe right around there.
Yeah, it's like 300. Yeah.
The what? What system?
A PS3 today, a brand new PS3.
They still in the like $249 range. Like, depending on how many hard drives.
I can see
ones for 200.
I can see 249 for a new console from them. But I don't. Sure. Kids. I can see 249. But I can't see 150. That's just too steep. And then here's the thing about the 20 million. Trying to have 20 million. They made that mistake with Wii. I learned this from Red Knight at the Gamer Lab, that they initially shipped 10 million Wii U's, I should say. Sorry, Wii U's, and they were having trouble, obviously, getting rid of that stock. So you telling me they're gonna double up this time without knowing? I don't see that. Like,
Right.
I don't see that happening because you have big retailers in UK like Game that were just marking them down because they couldn't sell the Wii U.
Didn't another stop buying the Wii U's? Just
Yeah, some of I can't. I'm sure I'm wrong on Game. Even I don't know the details, but I know that big retailers in UK especially had trouble moving them, and they started marking them down and stopped buying them.
Yeah, one of the biggest ones stopped,
right.
Like this year they stopped requesting. They actually cut off restocking the Wii U.
Yeah, restocking them. Yeah.
And that could be a clue. That should have been a sign that something is going on because, But anyway, so you leaning. I see where you leaning. You leaning towards false. So
yeah, but I want to say real quick, rumors. Like I never pay much attention to them because most of the time, like how many times does a rumor come out and it's completely false? Like every year we have E3 rumors that are completely way off, and people like to talk about rumors. I get that, but I hear people like getting upset, like it's facts, like oh they better not do that, that kind of stuff. Like it's a rumor, dude. Calm down.
Yeah, when people take the rumor and try to make it be like breaking news of truth.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, but to discuss the rumor and debate whether it even makes sense is intriguing.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So John, jump on in there, man. What you think about this rumor and give us your opinion on whether it's true or false.
Say the whole thing again, so I can.
So apparently, there's a rumor out that says that the NX is going to be weaker than the PlayStation 4. Notice they always isolate the PlayStation 4 like it's the only system on the market. That could tell you something too. It's going to be $150. Live reminded me that they're supposed to be trying to make 20 million systems to sell by the end of 2016 to 2017. They're trying to pump 20 million systems into the marketplace, and this is supposed to be hitting the shelves 2016. They already showed it to developers and already got manufacturers bidding for, or they got one that already is going to be producing it. So what do you think about this rumor?
All right, so let's pretend it's true. If it's true, this is gonna be one of the most rushed systems ever in the history of gaming. 2, at 150, it will fly off shelves. And 3, I still don't think it's what we think it is. If it's 150, it ain't what we think it is. They're not coming out with no console for no 150. It ain't. If they do, then that's not. Then what we think this system is not what it is. And so, nah, 150. I can't know. Sorry. That's like if you cut. That's groundbreaking, record breaking. That's like.
It's unbelievable.
You turn the gaming world upside down with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, maybe that's what they feel like they need to do. They'll say, hey, maybe they're saying we ain't got nothing left. Let's just do it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I doubt that. But I don't know. But if it was true, I don't know. But yeah, being weaker than the PS4, that's fine. I don't care about that. PS4 is not really showing nothing right now anyway, so it's not like the game that's really groundbreaking on the PS4. The game was crap anyway, which is Killzone. So as far as visuals, so it being weaker, just like I don't know. For me, I've never cared about if the system is weakest. All I care about is does the game look good? Because it can look good on all kind of different kind of hardware. You know what I'm saying? Does the game look good, and does it play good, and the price? Now, if you can, it has to be better than if they come out with another console. It has to be better than what they're doing with the Wii U. But I don't. But then I don't know. That rumor is kind of 20 million. No, you're not. No, I don't know. It's just See, I can't even pretend. See, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to pretend. I can't even pretend. My skepticism's coming through.
I'm just gonna be straight up. I think this rumor is just bull. You know, straight up. When they said when the first line was it's not gonna be more powerful than the PlayStation 4, that was red flags for me. Like,
seriously.
like, you know, to make that emphasis, to put emphasis on that, it was almost the same rhetoric that was going on with the Wii U. It's not gonna be. Oh, it's gonna be weaker than the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. It sounds like people who. Yeah. It sounds like
a fanboy said that, not somebody who's serious.
Like fanboy. That's two fanboys. The $150 price tag makes, like Mr. T said, how you gonna sell a home console cheaper than a handheld that's more powerful than the handheld?
Oh wait! Sony did it.
What's that?
That's why they beat it crashed. Because the handheld was more expensive than the console.
Well, the handheld wasn't more expensive than the. Well, it was.
Well, when the Vita came out, it was more closer to PS4 as far as what console that was out currently. So. Yeah. But he is right. It was like more expensive than PS3s at the time. That was just ridiculous.
Right. So, well, you know, that's Sony, you know. But anyway, so and then the 20 million, really? Nintendo, the same company that milked the Wii, right, pretty much kept it from showing up the show to create. Because I think some of that was intentional. I think at first it was legit. I think they couldn't keep up with demand. But I think once they saw that not keeping up with demand created more demand, Nintendo started using that to their advantage. So I can't see them turning around and then trying to put 20 million it's just after the Wii U didn't sell 10. Please, they're going to be very stingy with this system. I doubt they have more than 3 million ready to go. You know, cause if they ain't go, that's wasted money. I don't care if it's 150. That's wasted money to just automatically produce 20 million systems. You got to gauge if the system is catching on before you start investing that much development into the system, because it could not be needed at that pace. You know, then you just got all these systems for no reason. So I just think this whole rumor is fanboy laced, and I blew it off the moment it said not stronger than the PlayStation 4, and it didn't say Xbox One. Like this fanboy. Did
anybody know where the rumor came from, or what site or whatever?
I don't know it, but it caught wind because big sites picked it up. Like you had IGN, you had Game Trailers and Kotaku and all these places pretty much covering this rumor and giving it a little giving it a little strength so consumers and followers can start to kind of believe it. So no, I don't believe it. So
because like if you follow trend, they don't usually announce how many they're gonna produce before they actually show you a little something about the console first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, so we knew a little bit of something about the Wii U before they started announcing how many they was gonna ship. We knew a little bit of something. You know what I'm saying? We knew a little bit of something about the PS4 and the Xbox before they started deciding how many they was gonna ship and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I still don't think it's coming out next year. If it's coming out next year, I don't know. I still think that's the most kept secret in the world. So I don't know, because this is unusual for it to come out so soon and just like that with nothing concrete, no concrete evidence or anything. It's too soon. I don't know. It's weird.
I can see 2016, early 2017 being a release under the circumstances, but the rest of it I can't believe. So the only reason I believe in 2016 or early 2017 is because of if Nintendo does that, they capitalizing on the hype. Like right now, NX is the hype. It's hype. Whether it's rumors that clearly don't make sense, whether it's speculation on the power, speculation on the price, speculation on whatever, what it's gonna be, is right now is the talk. It's everybody talking, just like when Cats was talking about the Wii U. It forced Sony and Microsoft to start releasing before they wanted to information about the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. They was not planning on releasing anything about those two systems, but the Wii U was making too much noise, or whatever to call it, Project Cafe or whatever it was called, was getting too much traction. Then they showed the controller, and then it was buzzing. It's got a screen in it. It made them move. But right now, two years into the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, ain't nothing they can really do. So if Nintendo take advantage of this mid place they in and the hype that they got, I can see them coming in 2016, early 2017. But like you said, John, it can easily go into 2017. So.
I think I'm still going on 2017 because it's just too much stuff that's coming into play that you just like. Well, what about quality control? You know what I'm saying? What about development? Like, how many games are you gonna be releasing with this? You know what I'm saying? So you're saying Nintendo's been holding back on that many games?
I believe they've been.
Look at the Wii U.
I let Live or John, Live or Mr. T jump in, but I'm gonna say this, and Live, you can kick in, or Mr. T, you can kick in on whichever one want to go. I do think Nintendo has been reserving titles. I think initially, the drought we went through, caused sales not to be as great as they could have been. After that initial release, Nintendo was selling pretty good. Like they were selling real good actually, from 2012 into the early months of 2013. Nintendo was selling good. It was just when they hit that dry spell and when Ubisoft pulled Rayman Legend, and it had that, and then Lego City didn't come out when it was supposed to come out, and then there was another game that ended up not showing up on the system.
Yeah, you're talking about what's that game? The FPS game, right? You talking about?
Yeah. Was it Crisis?
No, was it? Yeah, Crisis. Yeah, Crisis. Our time. What is it? The Crisis 3.
I know,
Crisis 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Crisis was
the one game with the hacker dude.
One game with the hacker dude.
So it came out on the other systems, but it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out on the Wii U too, but they delayed it.
Oh, you talking about well, that was this year, wasn't it? Or last year?
No, it came out. Yeah, but it came out. Yeah.
He was talking about early 2013, when everybody started that.
I'm talking about early 2013.
Okay, I don't know.
Nintendo.
Metro. That Metro.
Yeah, there it is. Too. Yeah, you remember T.
I just saw it in the studio. That's why I remember. Yeah.
When they pulled them games, that's when Nintendo sales, and then you heard the rhetoric and the media. Nintendo doesn't have any games. It's losing third-party support, and then Ubisoft, they delayed Rayman Legend. Then all of a sudden, now we gonna put it on all three systems and pushed it back to September, killed that game, and it was all like, what the heck are these people thinking? You know what I'm saying? So, with that, I think Nintendo, after that first year, 2 years, I think they did start, looking at the sales, seeing that they wasn't moving, but in a year time, you didn't move number 2, 1 million. That was a lot of, they weren't moving no system. So, I do believe that they started to reserve certain titles and started making easier titles to jumpstart the Wii U, stuff that they can get out faster. I think, I'm not gonna say 3D World was not meant for the Wii U. I don't want to go that far, but I think 3D World was easier to approach than a game like Galaxy.
Galaxy game, yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Oh, that's very fair to say.
So I think Nintendo took okay, we don't have time to make the bigger AAA, really invested titles because we got to jumpstart this system.
Metroid?
You know, right? So the Metroids and the Zelda and the Xenoblades, all those games that we saw back then, they started milking them and then we started getting the Captain Toads and the this and the that and
Kirby.
Not to say these games are good. Like I was telling the person, those are good games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're great games. They're good. Nintendo's good as other companies great in my opinion. But for Nintendo, these were good games. But I do believe they started pulling development and trying to jumpstart the Wii U, and they couldn't jumpstart it. So a lot of the games that might have been planned for a longer lifespan, we ain't gonna see on this system. Live or Mr. T? Go ahead, Mr. T.
No, I was just gonna say I think Zelda is the most telling, because like we got it at E3 last year, and then we got the Game Awards extra footage, and then all of a sudden they pulled it. It was we need more time, and if you had that much confidence to show it at the Game Awards within that short amount of time. What was it? 2 months later that we need more time. Like, come on. I think they went through.
Too.
Yeah, it's very un-Nintendo-like. I think they went through the holiday season that year, and Wii U didn't move. They thought it would start moving again, and they didn't get the push that they thought they were going to get. And they looked at the numbers and they were like, "All right, let's move on." I kind of feel like that's what they did.
Let me ask this question: was the VGAs before the sales numbers were released?
Yeah, the VGA was in December, so. They hadn't got all the numbers for the holidays yet. The holiday.
Right. So the holiday sales number came in. They saw that because like I think it was Terminator. You said Nintendo left it all out on the line. 2013. Oh
yeah, they pushed. It was looking really good. Like they had a really good, strong lineup.
You had Mario Kart 8. You had Smash Bros. You had Bayonetta. You had some big titles. And the sales numbers still
Hyrule Warriors.
Warriors.
They increased, and see that's my thing though. They came so hard, then all they had to do was follow up, and people came at this E3 like they was really looking to see what Nintendo was going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta look at it like this too though. If you go, I mean, let's entertain this, then we move on. And Live, you jump in here when you want to, man. You go hard like they did last E3. You pull out your Megaton, Mario Kart 8, Smash Bros, all in 1 year, and you turn around and then you show Zelda just to tease people, let them know look at the Zelda, and you get the sales and you still only move 1.5 million. You know what I'm saying? That's hope deferred, man. That's a scripture, by the way. Anyway, let me stop preaching. That's because like I was on the pool for a second, man. I got a flashback. But anyway, so that kills that take all the steam out all the wind out the sails, man.
But see, the thing is, what I'm saying is, what they did last year was what they should have did in the first place. You know what I'm saying? They came out too late with doing that, but then with them doing it, they kind of started turning heads. Yeah. They started getting attention again. Now, if they would just came and they would have came with it this year, I guarantee those Wii U sales would have went up some more. They would have went up, and it might have been projected what they wanted to make, what they originally wanted to make. It was going up. People were really looking this year to see what Nintendo was doing.
So you saying you think they pulled the plug?
Yeah, I think they pulled the plug too soon. They should have kept going.
I don't know. I just think they weren't looking to go through another GameCube era. I felt like they didn't want to, because they pushed the GameCube big time and had some great games, and it didn't happen for GameCube. And I think this was like a boardroom decision.
I think they should have kept it. They should have kept it a boardroom decision. They should have kept it quiet. They shouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah.
Jump on in here, man. Jump on in there, cause I'm man. Don and Mr. T introduced some good points. I'm torn.
I'm just. To me, it all falls back to this. Okay, everybody is saying, like when they had Mario Kart 8 and Hyrule Warriors, when they had all those games that were coming out, what's the number one thing that Nintendo didn't do? Marketing. They didn't market the Wii U. Like I said, with Splatoon could have been probably a 3 million seller if they just hosted the Nickelodeon Wars. How would it have been great if they would have had Splatoon on there? All those kids would have seen it, showed the game on there. Boom! I guarantee you, they would have sold 3 million.
You have any kids? Alive? You got any kids?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen so many Splatoon commercials. Splatoon is the best marketing that they've done on the Wii U, in my opinion. Like, they pushed the crap out of that game.
It already.
I still see commercials. I still see commercials for it.
Splatoon has reached 1 million, and it ain't been out a month.
Yeah, it's barely been out a month, and it hit 1 million. Like,
yeah, but
they needed to do that for. Yeah, I see what you're saying. They needed to do that for like the system or other games, but they didn't really do that.
They didn't do it. They didn't market. If they would have marketed Hyrule Warriors, if they would have marketed Mario Kart 8 more, they would have marketed, some of the other games that
Mario Kart 8 doesn't need anymore. That's like almost 6 million. On a 10 million install base, they good on Mario Kart 8.
I'm just saying, just to push, the units of the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saying they should have marketed the actual system?
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Yeah, should have marketed the actual system. That was their opportunity then to correct everything.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, what I meant by boardroom decisions, I think, like what I'm saying is that they looking at it. I hate to think that Nintendo would be looking at the numbers only, but I feel like they're looking at it and they're like, we screwed up. From what we project, there's no way we can turn this thing around. Instead of putting more money into this, and maybe selling 20 million at the end of the thing's life cycle, let's put that money into NX and get it right this time. And we're coming in a time where we can really drive the market, because Sony or Microsoft ain't coming out with a console in probably 5 more years.
Right.
So
I agree. I believe that's what Nintendo done.
They trying to corner the market, I think.
Right, but I also believe, and I'll let John jump in here, I also agree with John.
Yeah,
and I never really looked at it like that, because I would be with you all day, Mr. T. I'd be like, Nintendo, they didn't see no light at the end of this tunnel. They showed Zelda. They released Mario Kart 8. They released they 2 big tons. Let's be real. Mario Kart 8 and Smash Bros. You don't get too much bigger than that. You can throw Zelda and all that in there. Them are not bigger sellers than Mario Kart 8 and Smash Bros. No. They released both in the same year. They throwing so much voltage towards the Wii U, trying to get this mug released. They saying clear and giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. They doing everything they can do, and unbeknownst to them, on the monitor, like John saying, a heartbeat showed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, well,
definitely right about that. Like, it sucks, but I think they wanted to be like at the end of the year last year, like we ran through 4 million consoles sold, or 5 million or something like that. I mean, that's the kind of power that Mario Kart 8 and Smash and not Hyrule Warriors, but just the buzz from like Bayonetta and all that kind of stuff. That should have drove them through to bigger sales, and they just looked at it and it's like, man, we put out our biggest games, our biggest sellers usually, and we barely sold more than we did last year.
I still think that they could have, like, okay, this is just me thinking out loud. Okay, they could have took the tablet controller out of there, and they could have put the Pro controller in there, and probably sold a million Wii U's, and still sell the tablet controller, separate.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
Lie.
Hello?
I said, can I say something to what you just said?
Yeah.
I believe it was somebody else that made that same. I think it was Danny on Gamer Tag Radio. I believe that you're right. They could have did that, but I think, in all honesty, that would have been a middle to defeat. And they would with the market Nintendo deal with, that would have been turned so sour on them that alone, in my opinion, would have killed them. It would have killed the Wii U faster than what they did at E3, because man, they cutting the gamepad. Oh, they cutting the gamepad. Oh, it's over. It's over. It's over. And I don't think the Pro Controller would have done anything to make anyone any more interested in the Wii U. I feel what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I hear that a lot, and I don't know if I can. I don't know.
Here's what I think. Well, at the time before they hit hard stride, right? They were basically, everybody counted them out. Nobody was paying attention to them other than regular Nintendo fans. Nobody was paying attention. They came hard, and like you said, it got that pulse. They came, the heartbeat on the monitor came. You know what I'm saying? They should have kept going. I understand that because when they look at the numbers, they're looking at the numbers from because if they want third-party support, then yeah, the numbers got to be up there more. The numbers got to be up there more, and they got to do that and stuff like that. And they're still thinking about third-party support. I understand that, but at the same time, yes, you can still be looking at that. You can, like, if you would have kept the normal process and the normal thinking about that, you usually don't hear nothing about this stuff until later on, and you still got the system. Like, the way they did it is just like, it's like, oh, we're done with the Wii U. That's the way, when I look at it like that, because that's how I felt about it. So I'm like, oh, now we're talking about the NX, and so what am I playing at the end of this at this holiday season? What am I playing? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm playing.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel like. That's why I feel like, you just stabbed it.
Yeah, I mean, like what Live was saying, it is. I mean, I see all the points. It's just like I agree with all you guys. I agree with what you said, John. I agree with Live. With the controller switch.
No, here. Let me put this in perspective. Okay, you got that right. Now you get all these. You got the Zelda. You could have kept going with a Zelda. Kept going with a Metroid. Could have kept going with a Kirby or a Kid Icarus or something like that. You could also, at the end of this cycle, you could have at least did one more year or 1 or 2 more years and introduce some new stuff to continue on with the next generation of console. You know what I'm saying? You could have made some new franchises. To, you know what I'm saying, started some new franchises and stuff to continue on to the next thing. Also, technically, all you really had to do to get, if they wanted to really sell more during that push, they should have just dropped the price. If they would have dropped the price, if they would have dropped the price during that push, they would have sold more.
Okay.
Guaranteed. They would have sold more. Then, like if people's concern was the Pro Controller, then guess what? You don't have to take the Wii U pad out. Throw the Pro Controller in there with it in a bundle. You know what I'm saying? Throw that in there with it in a bundle. Drop the price. Bam. You will get your sales market like that. But people don't want to pay. People don't want to pay what they want to pay what the Wii U costs about a system that they're not sure about versus 2 other systems that are almost similarly priced, and they know what they expect from those systems.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? It's like people are still unsure about the Wii U. You know what I'm saying? And they have a right to be, because now, especially now, they're unsure, and so they're not going to throw $300, $250, or whatever. They're not going to throw that on a system they're unsure about. And then you're not gonna do that. Now, if they would have dropped the price, announced something like during that whole push last year, they dropped the price, put a Pro Controller in there, did some more marketing, they would have got the projected sales that they wanted to do. I think they would have got that projected sales for that year. Then this year, if they would have came strong, you had a lot of people that were really waiting for Zelda to say, hey, you know what? When Zelda comes, I want to see some more of the Zelda. When Zelda comes out, I think I'm about to get a Wii U. And also, I got all these other games that already came out. You know what I'm saying? That I can go buy too. So I'm going especially because they also paying attention, because guess what? Nothing is out for the PlayStation or the Xbox. This was the time that they needed to hit the market hard. and they should have kept the momentum that they had, because there is nothing out for these other two systems other than third-party games.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they should have hit hard. That's why I feel like them doing. That's why I was upset about this E3. Is because I'm like, you killing it before when you just got started. You had everybody's attention. It's like now you pulling the plug. Like, oh man, now you're talking about the NX. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, okay, and then for me, going into the NX, like, well, how do I know that you're not going to do that again? Okay. What is it that you're doing that's going to make me say, you know what? I feel comfortable throwing my money into another system, even though I still I still felt like my other system had life. I felt that way about the 360, man, about the Xbox One, the original OG Xbox, and how they just cut that off and went to the Xbox 360. Mm-hmm. I feel like, hey, I still feel like I had life in my Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Then they just went straight to the 360. Just cut it off. No, and then they didn't make no more games for the Xbox. They just cut it off. I don't know what happened to them.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to make contact with him. He made it. Like I said, it's storming, so there's a lot of dropping and crazy stuff going on. Well, with that topic, so we went pretty deep in that one. So pretty much the cohesive is we don't believe the rumor, right? That's basically what we came to conclude.
No, I don't know. I don't believe the rumor. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the NX period. Because I told you, the whole thing's an anomaly to me. Because I was like, this is awkward. The way it's coming out is awkward. It's just not. It's not normal.
The power rumor is supposed to be from an insider that talked to several people, and they said, you know, it's not going to be as powerful as the PS4. So whatever.
Well, like I said, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't believe it. I don't think Nintendo would go that route. I think they would. I think they way wiser than that. So I choose not to believe that. So that's all I got to say on that room. I think it was from jump.
Can I say this? Can I say this one thing that's interesting? Okay, Amazon had approached Nintendo and asked Nintendo about putting their, like, I guess their streaming service on or games on Nintendo new console. Now, the only way that can happen, I think Amazon games are Android based. So unless Nintendo is going to be running some kind of Android what do you call it? Emulator?
Yeah.
Unless Nintendo is running a Android eliminator.
They might just been talking about their movie service.
No. They said games. They was asking Nintendo, what do we got to do to put our games on your console?
Well, I think the DNA is doing that, but Nintendo already said that the system ain't Android based. So if it ain't an emulator, it's got to be some DNA doing.
What I'm saying, like, if with this new architecture, it's like these new consoles and the way they're made now, it's easier to port games than what it was before. Because you know how every system had its own, like, PS3 had the cell processor, Xbox had this process, and then Nintendo had its own little thing. But now that they're all, and if the rumors are true about what the NX is going to have, they're all kind of similar and they're all kind of PC based, meaning that the games are going to be easy to port over and port across systems versus what it was before. You know what I'm saying? So, like, somebody can make a game on. You can start your development on the PC, make your game on the PC, whatever, and then you can easily port those games to the other systems because it's not as hard as what it used to be. And you don't have to mess around with different architecture than what you used to have to mess around with versus the last couple generations.
Okay.
And so if Android is also with Android games, they're easy to port over to, like, the other consoles and stuff too. Like, matter of fact, Sony had some phone games that they had, but the problem with what Sony did was Sony took these games that were like $1.99 or $1 on the phone on the phones, and they tried to charge $5 and $10 and $15 for them. The same games, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they failed on the Vita.
I'm kind of thinking that the NX might have some kind of Android built in it, because the reason why I say that, why would you come out and make a statement and say, oh no, we're not using Android, any other time, Nintendo, we don't comment on speculation and rumors.
Well, they commented that time. That's all I can tell you, man.
That's my thing. They came to that. They came to that defense, real quick.
Now, when they say they don't hear his thing, you gotta, cause it works and sometimes it don't work, but you gotta pay attention to it. Whenever they say we don't speculate on rumors, that means there's a possibility that what the rumor that you're talking about is true.
Right.
There's a possibility, but when they flat out deny it, that means they just denying it. It's not happening. That's usually the case, because if you ever pay attention to people's interviews and stuff like that, and they talk about we don't comment on it, but then you find out that 9 times out of 10 what somebody was asking was actually true.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning to. If it had any, that's why this. But they can't come out and challenge every rumor, but that Android rumor gained so much traction, they came out and quickly debunked that. No, that's not what we're doing. So I doubt it has anything to do with anything Android. I just think whatever they're doing with DNA, like live, you alluded to, it's gonna be some type of emulation, or I don't know. It might be some direct thing to it. I can't, but I know the system itself is not Android. So, but y'all ready to move on to this last topic, this main topic?
Yep.
All right. I was listening to Nintendo Free Radio podcast today. I listen to them a lot. Oftentimes, find myself disagreeing with a lot of what they be saying. I was disagreeing with this, but then I had to take a pause and kind of consider their point. They was talking about how they felt like it's time for Nintendo to return to directly competing with Microsoft and Sony and actually being in the fight, trying to compete with them in game designs and gameplay, the whole 9 yards. Not necessarily game design and gameplay, but trying to compete with them for the market. That's basically what I'm saying. So far, Nintendo has been competing, but it's been in an indirect way. Nintendo has been pretty much carving its own path and saying that we're not in competition with Sony and Microsoft. But at the same time, if you're a gaming company who sells games on a system or a platform, and these other 2 companies are doing the same thing, even though you are not trying to directly compete, you are competing, because the same people that are buying those systems are considering buying your system, and the same kids that and families that you're trying to win are to buy your system are buying and looking at these other systems. You're in the same store as these systems, around the same area as these systems, with the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, so forth and so on. The Wii U, the 3DS, all those games is in the same location. It's not like it's over in the tablet section or the computer section. It's in game. And so I thought it's at John first. Do you think that it's time for Nintendo to return to the fight and get back in to trying to directly compete with Sony and Microsoft for market?
I'm gonna say yeah and no. I'm gonna say yeah in the fact that they need to start making people more aware that they're here. You know what I'm saying? That they're a part of this industry, that they're part of this, you know what I'm saying? They need to start making, they need to be more aggressive in their strategies and trying to get market share, yes. As far as gaming goes, See, that's a hard question. Cause here's what I feel. I feel like Nintendo is Nintendo, and I like Nintendo because the offering that they offer is different than what the other two offer, and the other two offer kind of similar experiences. The only thing, the differentiator, is the actual system itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where Nintendo, the games are different than what the offering of what the other two are offering, and the system is different. It's a differentiator too, so they differentiate on both parts.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, at the same time, I think they need to start promoting more genres. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you got racing, you got Mario Kart, but you can't just have just Mario Kart. You need to have some more racing games. You know what I'm saying? You got platforms. You can't just have Mario and Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying? You need to have some more of that. RPGs, you need to have some more Zelda, some more Xenoblades. You need to have more than just those crop games. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's all you got, then that's what you're going to keep repeating year after year after year after year. You know, so you need more. So you're going to need some more. More. You need to put more effort into each of the genres other than what you're already offering. Okay. And so, man, also when I say put more effort into those things, also I mean like not taking the same characters. Also, now we got a Mario shooter. No, I don't want a Mario shooter. I need you to make another shooter. You know what I'm saying? You got now you have Splatoon. You got your entry into that. Now we need something else. We need something else. You understand? Okay. So when Splatoon 2 comes out, we got that. Then we also got this other game that comes out, like you said, Devil's Third. If we ever get that, and that's we got Devil's Third. Now we need a first-person shooter. You know what I'm saying? So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna offer for a first-person shooter? When I say offer a first-person shooter, don't give me Wario shooter or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me something like that.
Right. I got you.
I need something like that for when you go into the RPG. I need something other than Zelda and Xenoblade. When we go to the racing, I need something other than Mario Kart. What you got as far as fighting? I need something other than Smash.
Well, they got you got Fire Emblem and a few other that's on the RPG front, but they more Japanese style RPGs though.
Oh yeah, you need to start bringing those over and do that, and also you need some action RPGs. We need some more of those.
Okay.
We need some more of those type of games. You have to build into the genre. Like, yes, Nintendo covers almost all the genres, but they don't have enough in those genres. To where, and the reason why I say this is because I'm thinking about Nintendo going in strong on their part. Don't worry about the third party, but if the third party comes, they come. If they don't, they don't. Right now, Nintendo, you have to worry about yourself. And so you're going to have to sustain. You're going to have to be ready to sustain yourself because you don't know what third party is going to do. And that's where you failed this generation, is because you was too dependent on third party, and then when third party left you, now you was hung out to dry, and now you was left. You know, you was left there with crumbs. And so yes, you did good. I'm saying I'm not knocking Nintendo. They did good with what they had, but that's not enough to sustain a console. And so they're gonna have to come out with more. And so going into the NX and stuff like that, that's what they're gonna have to do. And so I guess technically yes, they're gonna have to compete, but they don't necessarily have to compete. They just have to fill out the genres more. They're gonna have to come out with some new characters and stuff, some new people to look at. Like you can still have the Mario, but we just need new people to look at.
Okay, all right. Live. And I wish Mr. T was here because Mr. T, this is kind of the area I was wanting the other guys to jump in because they more familiar with a lot of the development studios. And I know Live is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not as knowledge on all Nintendo and everything Nintendo got going on for as development studios and all that. But hopefully, Mr. T jump back in. But go ahead, Live, and drop your knowledge.
Oh, little do we forget. I mean, it was just a couple of years ago that Nintendo had the market cornered and everything was fine, and we had the blue ocean effect to where Nintendo said, hey, you guys fight over these console powers, these console wars. You guys fight. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make some motion controls, and we're gonna corner the market, this way, make a less powerful system. Everything's gonna be great. It worked. It worked. It worked. Nintendo went to the bank. $24 billion later, still strong. Okay. Now, here we go with the Wii U. And with the situation, do they need to compete with the PS4 and with Microsoft and with Sony? Do they really need to get in a fist fight with them? Me personally, I say no. No, they don't need to get in a fist fight with them. They don't need to, say, well, we'll make a stronger system, than you guys. It's not about that. It's not about that. Yes, I would like. It's not like Nintendo's never made a powerful system. If you go back and you do your history, it's not like Nintendo has not made a powerful system. They always made a good system. It might have been a little bit different. And it might have been, on Nintendo level to where, they can achieve a little bit more than the third-party developers. But they always made, good systems. Except the Wii. But hey, it is what it is. But I just think Nintendo needs to follow their own path. Then they need to go back and restructure some things. Learn from the Wii U. Go back, restructure some things. It's back to basics. Basic stuff. Like when they came out with the Wii, with the advertising for the Wii, that was great. How they went in homes and let people, play the games. Everybody got the feeling, oh, I can play that. Oh, I can do that. I can do that. They need to go back, get with the third party developers. If they got to kiss butt. At this point right now, they need third party. They can't go another console cycle without third party. I just hate it. But that's just reality. That's that's the number one thing. Just going back to the basics, getting third party back under their belts. Doing the basic things. Bring online, and when I say online, do the voice chat, party chat, friend invites. The whole nine. Twitch, YouTube. Now. I understand Nintendo is very protected about their properties, but to me personally, if I own Super Mario Brothers and if I want to play it on YouTube and show you guys how good I am at the game, and I put it on YouTube, and then Nintendo goes say, oh, we don't want you to show this. This is our property. We're taking it down. You're violating, our Constitution. We're taking it down. That's crazy. This is 2015 getting ready to be 2016. Come on. It's just like it's just basic stuff like that, that Nintendo, for some odd reason, they just won't change. They just won't change. And until they, it's not a simple fact of them competing, power for power, punch for punch with Sony and Microsoft. It's just Nintendo. They just need to change. They need to change. They need to wake up. It's not 1980 anymore. 1985. It's 2015. They need to change and get with the program, because if they don't, it's just gonna be terrible. I just think the Nintendo fans that's like, say for instance, like with me, they're just gonna get fed up. They're just gonna get fed up and be like, man, I ain't putting up with this. I ain't buying this. This mess no more. This crap. I ain't got voice chat. I ain't got friend invites. I can't talk to my friends. On over the internet. I think if Nintendo would do that, I think systems would, everything would fall in line.
Okay.
But until then, it's gonna be the same old song and dance. It's gonna be the same on song and dance. Just like with the Metroid, we thought we was gonna get a new Metroid. Bam, we got a new Metroid, all right.
I ain't gonna mess with that Metroid, man. I ain't gonna start that. I ain't gonna open up that umbrella because a lot of people are very sensitive about about that game, good and bad. But me, I'ma say yes. I think they do need to start competing again. This is why I would say it. Like when you look at Nintendo's best-selling home console, it was the Wii, right? And that's when they first started talking about we're not competing directly with the competition. We're doing our own thing, which they did, you know. And they pretty much created a market that didn't exist previously. You know, they got, and we talked about this last podcast, they got people to become gamers who the gaming universe wouldn't ever even think about even trying to get to play a game. You know, the grandmas, the moms, the dads, the uncles, the nursing homes, you know, the Oprahs, the Dr. Fields, and, you know, everybody during the era of the Wii, 7th generation, everybody was gamers. My mama was a gamer. My mama don't play games. You know what I'm saying? My aunts were gamers. Everybody was Wiiing. So when they broke away from trying to directly compete and doing their own thing, they had crazy success. But as John alluded to last week, the Wii U could not capitalize on that success because that success was a fluke in all actuality. That won't be reproduced probably, like he said, ever again in gaming. That'll never happen again. So you got the Wii U, which is the second system that Nintendo made that was supposedly not competing, even though the rhetoric at the time was this is for you. That's the whole Wii U was for the gamer, the hardcore gamer. They still technically were not competing with Microsoft and Sony. But when you go back and you look at the time that Nintendo was technically competing with these companies and Dreamcast or with Sega, you got some of the most creative games that ever came out of Nintendo. Like a lot of, at the time, Nintendo made its own basketball game. People, you know what I'm saying? Like, I pulled up some of the games that we got when Nintendo was competing. That's when we got Pikmin. That's when we got NBA Courtside. That's when we got Eternal Darkness. That's when we got Wave Race, Smash Bros. Nintendo had its own fighting game with Rare with Killer Instinct. This one, Nintendo was directly competing against Sony and Sega, and then Sony and Microsoft. Nintendo was creating some crazy stuff. But with the Wii and the Wii U, not to say Nintendo wasn't doing crazy things, but it was a lot of the stuff that we had already experienced. We got Metroid Prime in competition. See what I'm saying? We got some of the greatest Zelda games when they were competing. And not to say that some of these games are still not great, because they are. Like, you know, to me, Skyward Sword is a great Zelda game. It's is up there with the other ones. But we got a lot of Marios. We got a lot of platformers, and like I was saying before, a lot of quick, easy to produce games that, yes, as long as you're saying we're doing our own thing, you can justify only making these type of games. But when you're competing, you gotta put stuff out there that directly competes. Like Rare was kind of directly competing with the other companies for Nintendo when you have games like Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and all the other games that Nintendo had, man. I think that creativity comes out of directly competing. We were talking earlier, and we had Jet. What is that? That water racing game that competed with Wave Race. Jet Moto, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Jet Moto, something like that for the PlayStation. 1996. Then you had Wave Race, and Wave Race straight whooped that game, just demolished it. Far as reviews, IGN, John gave us these stats. IGN gave it 9.7 out of 10 compared to 8 out of 10 for the game on the PlayStation. Nintendo was competing, but since Nintendo has stopped competing directly, a lot of these games we haven't been seeing. We haven't seen a Metroid this gen. We haven't seen a lot of games that typically when Nintendo is competing, we will see, and we will see quite early. You know, so I don't know, man. I think maybe not power for power, you know, spec for spec. I don't think in that sense. I mean, in like what Gerald was saying, what you put now on the system, trying to dominate other genres of games, trying to compete in the marketplace with games that are dominating. You trying to compete for that space, trying to have a game that rivals in that space. Like you got 1080 Avalanche back when you had all those snowboarding games. Nintendo had a snowboarding game. You know, they had all these games that was coming out. We even had a Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube, and then we didn't even talk about the N64 and all the stuff they was doing there with Rare and things like that. You know, Eternal Darkness. We had now we got a horror game now, but it's not like what Eternal Darkness was doing. I mean, to me, Nintendo does need to compete, need to return back to the race, and people need to stop saying they don't have the money. Nintendo has the money. Nintendo ain't hurting for, especially after the Wii. Nintendo is not hurting for money. So while they don't need to try to throw dollar for dollar with Microsoft and Sony, they need to compete for that space and for that the basis that those two guys have, while continuing to pump out the core franchises that we have grown to love, the Marios, the Zeldas, the Metroids. We need more innovation as far as new games, new ideas, new IPs, like with Splatoon. Splatoon is proving the point that if you've done right, Nintendo can create $1 million sellers, million sellers easily. Splatoon has already reached 1 million, and it's a new IP from Nintendo, and it's already at 1 million. It's one of the fast, if not the fastest selling game on the Wii U right now, outpacing Mario 8 and Smash Bros. Smash Bros was a new take on gaming, and when they done that, even down to Mario Kart 8, but down to Mario Kart, but it's time for Nintendo, to me, to directly compete. You know, have your own sports games. Bring back some of these studios, put them on different tasks of making sports games and different genres that can directly compete with games in the market that's dominating. You know, that's my opinion, but who want to jump in off of that?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I want to evaluate something that a lot of us talking about. They need to change their attitude towards things.
Yes.
Their attitude that they have is real crap. Like, just like he was saying with the YouTube stuff. What was the point of that? Like that, them blocking everybody and stuff like that on YouTube. That you hurt. I'm glad he brought that up, because that you really kind of damaged your own system when you did that.
Exactly.
Because this is the genre. This is the time where, like, even though maybe I don't understand it, maybe they didn't understand it, but it's not about what we understand. It's about what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I don't like sitting there looking at people on Twitch all day playing games when I could be playing it myself. But that's me. You know what I'm saying? But evidently, me, I'm in that minority, because evidently a lot of people like to watch Twitch and watch Let's Plays and stuff like that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to understand that that's where the market is right now. Everybody is live stream. I'm thinking about getting into live stream, even though I'm still trying to understand it, because me sitting there talking to myself ain't cool. But because they had a delay or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So by the time they see what I'm seeing, I already did something, so I can't. Me trying to interact is kind of hard when you're trying to be by yourself, whatever. But that's neither here nor there. It's off topic. But I'm thinking about getting the live stream because it's just where the thing is where the market is right now. You know what I'm saying? People playing live games and people doing the let's play. That's where the market is. And for Nintendo to just go and say, hey, no, we can't do it. You can only do that with you if you register with our channel. That's not what who's doing the decision making in the boardroom to where they thought that was a good idea. I don't want
it comes from to me that comes when you're not directly competing. Like, I don't know when you isolate yourself to being, and Nintendo always will be unique. That's the thing people need. When I say compete directly, it's not going to stop Nintendo from being unique. It's not going to stop Nintendo from being Nintendo. Nintendo has everything Nintendo did under the Wii banner is what they did. What was no real different than what they did when they claimed to be competing. You see what I'm saying? Only difference was that taking that tag off that we're not competing, it gave them justification to make faster, quicker, cheaper games, because we are not competing. We're doing our own thing. We don't want to make the AAA titles. Fine, but you still making AAA titles. Mario is AAA, Zelda is AAA, Metroid is AAA. But back before then, everything you put out set the tone. Everything that you put out on the shelf dictated that genre. If you go back, every Nintendo game and every genre that they decided to make a game in, Nintendo game was the #1 in that genre. 007 wasn't nothing touching 007. Nothing was touching Perfect Dark in shooters at that time, unless you was on PC. See what I'm saying? So Nintendo always dominated, but when they stopped competing, they dominate with their core titles, the Marios, the Zeldas, the Metroids, but nothing never competed with those titles. Nothing can compete with Mario in platforming. No game. Donkey Kong, which is Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? But outside of Nintendo, nothing competes with them with these games. But they went over and they dominated other genres as well. If it was through them first party, if it was through a company that they owned, and second party with Rare, with Retro, with Metroid Prime, Nintendo always dominate whatever genre they decide to jump in, except for maybe sports. But they never dominate, but they had stuff that competed. So
you know what I wish Nintendo would do? I wish they would bring back Project Hammer.
Well, yeah, that was one thing I want to talk about, but I ain't think we have time. Yeah, they scrapped that game. They scrapped that game for the Wii. They said they had scrapped it, but actually they were still working on it for at least 5-6 years after that. But because Nintendo and the Western developers couldn't see eye to eye, which brings up an interesting thing. But I don't want to go into that because it'll open up a bigger discussion. But that game never saw the light of day because of friction between Japan and developers and Western developers, the people that was actually making the game. So,
well, I thought Nintendo America was making that game.
Yeah, Nintendo of America was making it, but they were Western developers under Nintendo of America, but Japanese developers were over the project, so they had to get everything cleared through Japanese directors and overseers, and one of the statements was made that you're not Japanese, so you wouldn't understand. That was one of the claims by one of the Western developers who was working on the game. I don't know how truthful that is. It could be anger and frustration and trying to throw salt in Nintendo, and it could be actually what happened. But it was a lawsuit, and different things happened that Nintendo came in and investigated. I know that happened. So, but the game never saw a light of day. They went from being realistic to cartoony. It's a big article out on that what happened to that game.
Yeah.
But But go ahead, John, if you got something to say.
Yeah, and it's like they also with this next system, like Lyle said, they need to approach it and they have a different mindset. They need to dip into other genres. They need to and also they need to get rid of the kiddie image. I mean, I understand that they're trying to keep it family friendly, but guess what? Family friendly is not, they're not selling your console no more. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get out of that. I understand that you want to protect the kids, so but put emphasis on the technology that's out there that's used to help parents lock down their kids and keep them away from bad stuff, whatever. Use the technology that's out there, but don't hinder everybody on your console. You know what I'm saying? Your days of doing that, you got to stop that. You know what I'm saying? You did it with the Wii, and you did it with the Wii U. It's not successful. It's also part of the reason why people don't want to buy your system. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to stop that. So with this next system, you got to make the online more open and more approachable, and you got to let people group up with their friends. You got to let people talk to their friends. And you know what I'm saying? This is the generation that this is what people do. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the other systems and then you get on the Wii U, you're segregated. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That'd come from, to me, what you're saying is basically what I'm saying is a lot of that will come if you directly competing. See what I'm saying? Like, everything you said, like with the online infrastructure, with voice chat and cross game and all these features, and some of the features we talking about with streaming and YouTube and Twitter, and with YouTube and what's the other one? Twitch, and all that. In order for you to have that mindset, in some way you got to be directly competing. You want that group. To me, Nintendo should want everybody, not by separating yourself and saying we're not in this race. No, I'm in this race, and I want you. I want the hardcore. I want the family. I want the kids. I want everybody, and I'm going to compete for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You look at Disney. Disney still rocking with Mickey Mouse, Daffy. Donald Duck, Goofy, but Disney bought up Star Wars franchise. They bought up the Marvel studio. They got Marvel now. They ever expanding because they want to. To me, they want to compete in every market. They want to compete with everybody. They want to dominate everything. They got ESPN. They got everything covered. But when you see Disney, what do you see? Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, it's a Goofy. That's still their main. What they started with is still their main focus, even though they got all these other things to occupy, and they want the sports guys. They want the comic guys. They want the fantasy guys. They want the cartoon animation kids. They want the family stuff. Disney wants it all, and they competing for it all. And I think Nintendo has the same capability in gaming. Yeah, your core is family to kids. Nothing wrong with that. I think they should keep that up. But now you need to compete for the core, the hardcore, the extreme, all of them. Compete for them by investing, taking your studios and tasking them with, I want you to make this particular game to compete with that game. I want to dominate this genre. And I need you to dominate. Come up with a game that'll dominate that genre. Come up with a game to dominate this genre. I need a sports game that can compete. Since nobody don't want to make sports for us, we'll make our own sports game that can compete. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think Nintendo has the studios, they have the clout, and they have the creative ability to do that. That's my opinion.
Yeah, they have the ability to do all that. It's just somebody in there. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm playing around, but somebody in there don't like Nintendo, and they inside there trying to sabotage the company or something. Because the stuff, the decisions they be making, you be scratching your head like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Sometimes
it seemed like that it seemed like sometimes it do seem like somebody asleep at the wheel. I will admit to that. You know,
I done said this a long time ago. I hate it, but Iwata's got to go.
See, I wouldn't go that far, but I don't know, man. I don't want to target Iwata, and I don't want to target Reggie and Miyamoto and all them. But at the same time, I won't say that there needs new, fresh.
Here's a question I gotta ask.
Eyes, I guess.
What involvement do they have in the decision making, or are they just figureheads?
That's something that active gamer life was talking about. I would take what he said. He said he don't think Iwata them has the call the shots.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you do.
I didn't say I agree. I just said I'd say what he said. Some don't. You know, I believe he do. I believe they do. But some people say they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like some people say they just relaying the message of the folks who pay the bills.
You know the reason why Iwata ain't fired yet. Iwata owns. I think he owns like 42% of shares in Nintendo. I mean, that's a lot of money.
I didn't know that. If that's the case, I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want to know what part of the input process. That's the thing I want to delve into. Is like, you know, what part of the input process do Reggie and Iwata have in their perspective? Like Nintendo of Japan and Nintendo of America. What is it that, when it comes to decision making and stuff like that, how much say so do they got, or how much of it is voted on? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Because with Reggie, I feel like Reggie, you know, we didn't talk to you too much. We're in interviews and all that stuff. You know what we want. You know. It's, I don't know about Iwata, but I know with Reggie, I know because you know he's interacted with all the different members of the press, even from small to big. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what we want. So why is that not getting relayed back to the home front? You know what I'm saying? And so why are we still getting these half attempts at certain situations, and why are we on these, like, you know, why are you banning people on YouTube? What thought process, or who is making these decisions? Because I can't say Reggie. I know it can't be Reggie because it don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense, because you know that's not what we want. And he knows we know what we want. He knows what we want because we relayed to him in all the interviews, all the stuff that we talk to in the chats, and everything that we, you know, the stuff that goes down with him. He knows. So it's like, I can't say what Iwata knows because, you know, the language barrier and all that different stuff, you know, the cultural barriers and all that stuff. So I can't really speak for Iwata, but I know I know Reggie knows. And so so something's not getting relayed, or something's not going on that where. That's why I'm wondering how much power do he actually have? Because it just don't make sense.
I just looked it up. Iwata do own a nice portion. I don't know if he owns the amount that you said, but he owns enough to where his voice is heard. Put it like that.
Oh yeah.
So I don't. Me personally, I don't think Reggie has a huge voice. I don't think nobody in the West, Nintendo of America has a voice. Really, they just do what they're told to do. And like Ms. T was saying, Reggie does his job, P&R, and, you know, deflecting and deflating any negativity the best he can, deterring any negativity and turn it to positive. That's his job, and he do a good job of it. You know, that's why I like Reggie. You know, but it says a lot about Nintendo, because to go from being as dominant and like Lyle said, cornering the market, pretty much having the market eaten out of their hand. Now since the gaming has switched from Eastern to West, more dominant by the West, I think that's one of Nintendo's problems, is they haven't adapted to the Switch like we talked last time. But that still has to do with who at the top and who's calling the shots. I think Iwata has called a lot of shots. That's me. And now that I look up the fact that he owns 6,700 shares, I don't know what that equate to, but the article was saying how some of the higher execs and board members don't even own 200 shares, and Iwata owns 6,000. So he gotta have, huh?
That's the thing. It's like, what is Japan culture and their game, the way they game, is it that much different than how we game? Or are they not like? I just because like the online aspect of this is like you've had so many years to get it right, and you had so many years to, and you've had the blueprint laid out for you by the other two systems. It's like, why are you still lagging behind? And it's like it's confusing, and it's kind of frustrating. And it's like, you know, people think like when I'm talking about bad about Nintendo, I'm talking about it because I want better, because I want to spend my money. But when I talk about my experiences, I have a better time gaming with friends on the other system. Doesn't mean that the games are better, but I just have a better time gaming with my friends on the other system because it's easier.
Right.
You know, and hell, I don't even have to be playing the same game. I could be playing a whole other game, but I can still talk to my friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I don't understand what they don't understand, that this is the type of stuff that we want. We want to interact. We're social.
Right. So, well, I would think on a Yamauchi, is that how you say his name? Yamauchi, something like that? Before Iwata took over? I think they directly competed. I think he wanted to dominate gaming. I think that was his mindset. That was his intent, and he was doing it. He made enemies. I think Iwata is at a time dealt with a lot of bad relationships created under Yuma Uchi, or however you say his name. But to me, enough time has collapsed and eclipsed that Iwata's relationship with these people, third party, should not be based off of what happened on the Super NES and NES eras. You know, them platforms been long gone. So I don't think the relationship with Nintendo and third party has anything to do with what happened during that time. I think it's like you saying, John. There's a breakdown in communication with Nintendo, because I don't think it's a Japan thing, because clearly Sony is not having this issue. You know, clearly Sony is not having this communication barrier. They have embraced what gaming is about now, where gaming is going.
Sega even embraced it before. So you might as well say they might have pioneered it.
Right, Sega embraced it even prior to Sony. You know, and Sony took a lot of his ideas from Sega and Nintendo, and then Xbox definitely took a lot of its ideas from Sega. So I think it's a Nintendo thing, and it has to be the person who's calling the shots. And I think the whole we're not competing has a lot to do with why we don't have a lot of these features. If I say I'm not competing, then you should not expect this from me. You should not expect this from us. And I think with the Wii being such a success without all that, and being weaker, and just totally doing a total new thing, I think I don't know. I think it was a blessing and a curse at the same time. You know, so hopefully, like I said, I believe they should compete. I believe they should return to the race. Not competing dollar for dollar, because they could do it with Sony now, but they couldn't do that with Microsoft. But compete with trying to dominate each and every genre, trying to compete in each and every genre while paving and creating new genres and new creations and ideas with gaming. I think Nintendo has the capability to do that, and I would love for them to return to that GameCube, more N64 time, when they was just doing crazy Rumble Pack. You know, that's when we got the 360 analog stick. Just doing crazy stuff.
I'm saying, it's the thing,
pushing the industry forward and compete.
They could have did that with the Wii U, and that's why I was like, they had the tools already implemented. Like you know how Xbox came out and they hit hard with the TV and all that, but Wii U had it already. Guess what? But they just didn't do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? Like the little camera on it. Every Wii U has a camera.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be doing Skype and stuff and you know Skype and you can actually if you would have put. You could put Twitch on there, and hell, everybody has a unique camera that you can move, and no matter where you at, it's on your face.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they got everything. That's what I'm saying. They ain't doing anything that is not competing. It's just they're not in mindset and force, and they not competing that way. I want to beat you. No, you know, like if I went out to a track with you, and we was running, you running a 100-yard dash, I'm just running laps. I'm on the track with you. But if I want to beat you, I got to get in the blocks and do the 100-yard dash with you. I'm trying to beat you. I want to beat you, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think Nintendo, they like, oh, we out here. We on the track with you guys. Y'all racing. Y'all doing a 100-yard. Everybody focusing on y'all race. And we just running no laps. We doing our thing. But I think Nintendo need to get on the line, put his fingers down, get in the blocks, and look at the other two guys and say, we finna beat you. We finna beat you because we dominate game. That's what I believe they should do.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm ready for that to return because that's where the creative juices really get to stir. Like right now, Nintendo is doing cool things, and we're getting stuff like Splatoon and all that. But if you directly competing, you really gonna push your ideas because you want to dominate them. You don't want them to even come nowhere close to even touching what you're doing. And at one time, that was Nintendo.
And see, also by doing that, you bring back to gaming a uniqueness that's needed. You know what I'm saying? Now you see the crap that we're dealing with the other two systems with all this paid DLC and unfinished games and stuff like that. Now we need somebody on the third. We need a third wheel to come in and disrupt that stuff. And Nintendo has the power to disrupt that, and they do disrupt it because their games are great, but they just didn't capitalize on what people want. And so that's why the system didn't sell. And if it would, like, I think right now if the Wii U would have sold, I think gaming and as a whole and this whole industry would have been a different situation than what we have.
You're right, because and Rob, you can jump in, man. The reason I was just going to say, remember, and I bring this up quite often. Remember back in the day, Nintendo had the seal of quality.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you knew when you bought it, from gameplay all the way around, it was going to be quality. It was Nintendo quality, then it was everybody else. Nintendo still has that, but Nintendo ain't, it's the face of gaming, but it ain't dominating game. It's like, I'm trying to compare it to something. Like, LeBron wouldn't be a good example. Kobe would. Like, Kobe is a face, but he wasn't dominating nothing for a good while. You see what I'm saying? But he was still the face. Nintendo still the face. Is when you think of gaming, you think Nintendo, but Nintendo is not leading the pack anymore. Nintendo is not driving the car. It's in the car, but it's the one dude in the car. You like, if anybody know how to do it, they know how to do it. But you wondering if they gonna do it. But you got the wannabe driving the car. You got Sony and Microsoft want to drive the car. Nintendo just fine with get in the car. It's like, no, you the one should be driving. You know, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Go ahead, live. Live. That brother.
Is that his snore?
I don't know. Let me see. I guess so. I guess he clocked out on us. But anyway, but that's how I feel about it, man. I think Nintendo should get back to competing. And
I mean, if they do, and they come out, but I just feel like the way they did this system and would come with the NX, they really have to come out hard. They can't come out soft no more.
Mm-hmm.
They got to come out with all the guns going, all the chains moving, everything, all the gears greased up and going. They got to come out hard with it, and in order to gain support, to gain new support, to gain the old support, and just to just to gain the trust back. Because like you can't. Okay, I understand that Wii U didn't do what you wanted to do, but you can't just leave the people that supported it like that.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just. I understand that you just like how I feel the same way with Sony. Yes, I understand the Vita didn't do what you wanted to do, but you can't leave me like that after I supported you. And I feel like they're so intent on trying to get new people that they focus on as new people that they forget about the people that, hey, we're here, we supported your system, so what are you doing for us? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like Nintendo's gonna have to gain back that trust, because that's how I felt like they left me hanging. They left me hanging. Because after this year, I don't know what I'm playing. I didn't have that problem before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that problem before. You know what I'm saying? Each year I say, okay, I got this to look forward to this next year. I got this to look forward to this next year, okay? I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing this right now, okay, and I got that. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't have that feeling with Nintendo no more. I know what I'm playing for the rest of this year, but after that, it's bleak. You know
Yeah, with me, I believe, like, I got faith. I mean, I ain't lost hope in Nintendo or anything like that. But for me though, I just want to see them. Hold up, that's him trying to jump back in. I'm gonna have to. Boy, this has been an interesting night. Everybody dropping out, everybody jumping back in. I don't know what's going on, but hold up. But anyway, I just want to see him return back to just competing and being competitive. Like the Reggie we seeing right now, we seeing this Reggie all the time. You know, the Iwata we seeing right now, the Miyamoto we seeing right now. Let this be all the time, and as they phase out, because let's be real, this is probably going to be the last. The NX is probably going to be the last time we really see Miyamoto. I think Miyamoto is going to we ain't gonna see Miyamoto much after the NX. That's my opinion. I think he's going to phase.
No, it's not. I think he's slowly getting out.
Yeah, I think he's getting out. He even said that he's not directly involved with the development of the NX. So I believe he's slowly looking at retiring, which he should want to, and allow and trust some new blood up in there. I think Miyamoto is doing what he needs to do, critiquing and challenging those under him to develop greater games. But Anuma and all those, they're stepping in and coming into their own. So Miyamoto is not as needed as he used to be, and I think he's coming to that realization. I think we as Nintendo fans need to come to that realization that even though he is an icon and he is, in my opinion, the greatest game developer to ever hit gaming, just like Jordan had to leave, you know what I'm saying? Miyamoto going to have to leave, and I think his time is slowly, fastly approaching. And then I think even with Iwata, same thing. I think eventually Iwata is going to look at it and be like, man, I think it's time for some new blood to run the ship. Sometimes like in football, sometimes coaches and their voices get stagnant. And it's not that they ain't good at what they do, but sometimes you need a new voice. And I'm not saying that's the case right now with Iwata, but even that would be a case. I can see him, bringing up somebody new to run things after the NX. I can see that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just ready for them to compete again. I'm ready for them to steer away from the rhetoric of we ain't trying to compete with them. I want to see them doing what they do and dominating at what they do. It ain't got to be number one, but your intentions is to be number one. Because I believe when your heart and your mind has that in light, you do some of the greatest stuff you're going to ever do. And as long as you not trying to you can do great things, but when ain't nobody pushing you to do greater, you a lot of times don't do greater. And that's my opinion, you know. So
yeah, I feel like they can come out and at the point. That's why I was kind of upset with how they came out with what they did at E3, because this is the time where the other two systems are lagging behind. They're playing around and they're not really delivering. That this is the time that Nintendo had to hit the home run. But my thing is, that's why I say I wish they would have kept their NX crap quiet.
yeah, I agree. I think if their intentions is not to come out 2016, early 2017, then yeah, they probably could have waited.
If they were their intentions were to come out, they should have kept it quiet at least till after E3. You know what I'm saying? Kept it quiet till after E3. Bring out some more games. Continue to put the Zelda out. You know what I'm saying? And then say, hey, surprise us or something. But when you just did that right before E3, and then just the E3 showing, you kind of like, come on, man. So you just kind of like, you're just like, whatever, we're done with this one. But I don't know. I just hope the NX is what we hope it is. But I don't know. It's too much mystery with that thing. It's too much.
I mean, it's exciting and it's like. Kind of like, man, you kind of get in that mindset. You excited, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at.
The gamer in me wants it next year, but same other thing, message thing. The gamer in me wants it next year, but at the same time, it's like that's kind of, to me, I just feel like that's a rush. Unless they just been holding this secret for a long time, I just feel like it's a rush.
Yeah, I mean, it can appear that way, but like I said, it could also be the Nintendo been working on it for a while. It's just we didn't know, So
yeah, so I'm hoping if they release next year, I'm hoping that's what it was, and I'm gonna clap my hand because that's the best kept secret. But I'm hoping that that's what they've been doing. They like kept it on secret that long because they come out with a system that fast. I feel like it's gonna lead to some hiccups down the line. You know what I'm saying? Something like the Red Ring of Death type stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why when I say things are moving too fast, like it's just something don't seem right. It's just moving too fast. Like you don't got enough time for quality control, testing stuff out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, if they started, let's say they started, if they just now starting, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Now, knowing Nintendo and the fact that they even announced that when they release a new system, they already working on the next system. Maybe, when they released the Wii U, they had already started research and development on the next system. And when they realized that the Wii U wasn't selling as well as they thought, they started ramping up production on the next system, hoping that maybe they can jumpstart the Wii U. But then when they saw that they couldn't jumpstart the Wii U, they was ready to go. They like, okay, well, we got our idea. We know what we want to do. Let's implement it now. And offset what's going on with the Wii U. It could be that too. So I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation. So I don't know. It's crazy. But with that being said, man, I mean, there ain't much else I can add. Tonight has been very interesting. We have lost callers. A lot of stuff happened in this podcast. I was having a storm where I'm at, so it's been a lot of issues. But I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. John, you got anything you want to share before we bounce out of here, man?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, stay tuned for our next podcast. I know this was a little bit dysfunctional. Starting off, you couldn't hear John, and Mr. T fell out. I don't know what's going on. Pretty sure he having technical difficulties where he at, and then even my boy Live fell out. So So excuse all that, but we hope you enjoyed the conversation, and we will try to be back next week with even more discussion. This is your boy signing out. Deuces.